Obviously, the election just happened and Donald Trump won. That's not really what I'm here to talk about necessarily, but he did win. He won the popular vote and the electoral vote, unfortunately. A lot of states in Middle America, he won. And in Rhode Island, he did not win Rhode Island, obviously. It's a very blue state. Although it was closer than it normally is. Obviously, with Trump winning, it bothers me a lot. Worrying about whether or not we'll continue to defend our allies, help Ukraine fight off the Russian threat. Because as much as Republicans like to deny it, Trump is really soft on Putin and Russia and letting them get away with disgusting, vile shit like the invasion they pulled off in Ukraine. And also, obviously, for a lot of domestic policy, Trump's opposition to right to choose, right to abortion, his opposition to trans people getting the care that they need. But none of that is really what I wanted to talk about. There was something that made me even more angry than all of that. And that is spineless, disgusting snakes with no principles, morals, respect for democracy. None of it. By the way, forgive some syllables not being caught by my mic. I haven't figured out my filter, apparently. Anyway, spineless people like failed candidate for Rhode Island Senate, Republican Patricia Morgan, and Anthony dellena, who organizes Republicans in Narragansett, the vice chairman of the Narragansett Republican Town Committee. So in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, funny enough, the town that I actually grew up in when I was literally this tall, there was a lady who was apparently ex-Senator Savini's wife, Val Savini, I might be butchering the last name on that, handing out campaign literature, which was a tiny, you could not mistake this for a real ballot, a tiny slip of paper that showed an image of a ballot and indications to, if you're a Democrat, these are the people who you should vote for on your ballot. Now, to be clear, it's my understanding that there may be a statute against doing that, against handing out campaign literature of any kind within a certain number of meters of a polling place. And if they violated a statute like that, where you're not supposed to hand out campaign literature near an election place, then that was bad and they shouldn't do that. And if there are some sort of consequences spelled out in a statute, then there should be. And don't quote me on that, by the way, because it might just be Republicans feeding me bullshit, but I'm willing to believe that that's a rule. However, the issue is not that these Republicans raised complaints about people improperly distributing campaign literature at an election place. These sniveling, deceitful, slimy, inhumane people tried to claim before it came out that Trump was winning, that this was voter fraud and that Democrats were handing out fake ballots. So she was the minority leader of the Rhode Island House of Reps, Patricia Morgan, spreading this bullshit. And then there's Anthony dellena, little Anthony, spreading this bullshit. By the way, this little pamphlet that they had was smaller than even a normal sheet of printer paper. And as you know, a ballot is like this big. And then there's letter paper, and then there's the little pamphlet they're handing out. You could not mistake it for a fake ballot, even if you were 70 IQ like these people are. These fucking disgusting pieces of shit trying to emulate their daddy Trump because they have no personality of their own and that's all they know how to do, try to call fraud in a state that Trump was never going to win in the first place, So what would the motivation even be? And as the Portsmouth Democratic Town Committee released afterwards, this is a piece of paper that was a quarter of the size of an actual ballot. And something that they claim other local Portsmouth Republicans distributed similar campaign literature. They claim that they personally checked with the Portsmouth canvassing office and learned that they are unaware that this campaign lit breaks any laws. So, because these disgusting pieces of shit were trying to whip their clueless, brain-dead Republican followers into a frenzy over this, they just said, it's not worth it. We're not going to keep contributing this lit. So they actually, the bullies succeeded in shutting down the distribution of this campaign literature. And I pointed this out, and because she very vaguely alluded. Where is the part where she alludes? She alluded to, or no, it was Anthony who alluded to the statement the Portsmouth Democrats made. And Anthony was like, well, he stated that addressing this issue was not within their purview and referred the complaint to the Rhode Island Board of Elections. They decided not to take any actions to stop these Democrats from handing out fake official ballots at Portsmouth polling locations. Didn't even specify what the person actually said, what the explanation actually was, that it wasn't a fake official ballot. And no one tried to use this as a ballot. Not that they would get away with it anyway, because it's not the right size. And it's not actually a ballot. Literally, you wouldn't scan it. It wouldn't scan. You have more than 2 brain cells to rub together? And then I pointed this out, and Patty was like, that was a lie. No Republican was distributing altered ballots. Unsophisticated voters were confused that the official ballots they were given was different. This was election interference. It isn't permitted. And I made fun of her because she fucking blocked me after replying to me. Fucking cowardly pawn scum. And then this lady, who even knows who she is, Channel 10 just stated Democrats are passing these out, but also reported Republicans are passing out the same. That was a lie. No explanation of how it wasn't true. They're just parroting Democrat talking points. And of course, I tried to tell this lady. Yes, I will like my own on this one. I just can't believe that these people think they can get away with it. And you know what they're trying to do, right? Because if it so happened that Trump didn't win the election, if he had lost and then tried to do the same bullshit he did in 2020, these scum-sucking, ass-kissing, brown-nosing pieces of shit would have been the people trying to help him. Well, there is voter fraud. Actually, did you see they were trying to pass out fake official ballots in Portsmouth? I would die if my hometown became famous because of these sniveling rat fucks doing that and getting away with it. Helping Trump to push more fake election fraud claims. Die of embarrassment, I would. It is actually unconscionable. I'm more mad about this than I am about Trump winning, because I figured it was a possibility anyway. This is just inhumane and a blow to the collective conscience of our country. In a way that's hard to recover from or to wrap your mind around. If you have a decent fucking bone in your body. I don't believe in hell because I'm an atheist, but if I did believe in hell, these people would belong in the lowest level. Sniveling rat Anthony, fucking Napoleon Anthony, and Patty Morgan. She doesn't get any mercy for being an old lady either. Oh, what a sweet old lady here as she tries to fucking push the demise of our democracy, trying to chip away at the credibility of our elections, little by little, as much as she can, out of a selfish, scum-sucking desire to get power for her own side. Unbelievable. And I also want to call to attention, notice how Democrats are not rioting or threatening to riot, or trying to stop the peaceful transfer of power in any way, or making fake. I mean, I guess some people are trying to claim that there's fraud, but not the actual leadership, not the actual Democrats, not Kamala. Some dumb fucks on Twitter, I guess, but not the current vice president of the United States. I got nothing. I got nothing to add. That's it. That's why I wanted to stream. And of course, we should also probably read an actual article too, instead of just doing fucking tanky research where you just look at Twitter. They have her post from social media. Fantastic. They have the statement from the Portsmouth Democrats. NBC 10 News asked Miguel Nunez, executive director of the Rhode Island Board of Elections, about the sample ballots. I don't know the specifics of it. All I know is that that's not an official ballot. It's not something that could be read by our machine. No, yeah, no shit. So if that's something that's been put out there by a campaign for any type of campaigning or promotional, that's not something that's going to affect our equipment. It's not possible to be tabulated by our equipment. But of course, people just get their fucking Republicans just get their news about the election from Patty Morgan's fucking Twitter feed. So fuck me, I guess. And then just general information. People are disgusting, though.